Former Vice-President Atiku Abubakar has formally registered his membership with the African Democratic Congress, ADC, ahead of Nigeria's 2027 elections. Atiku registered and collected his membership card at Jada Ward 1 in Jada local government area, LG of Adamawa State on Monday, November 24. He made that statement as well that he resigned from the People's Democratic Party, accusing the party of straying from its founding ideals. But let's also tell you that before his move, Atiku had been a long-standing member of the PDP, under which he served as vice president from 1999 to 2007. Don't forget, too, that he left the PDP for the defunct Action Congress, where he ran for president in 2007 and returned to the former before joining the All Progressives Congress, APC, in 2014. He, however, dumped the APC and returned to the PDP, whose flag he flew in 2019 and 2023 presidential elections.
His decision to leave the People's Democratic Party on July 16th comes after months of speculation following a period of internal crisis and factional disagreements within the party. Atiku cited irreconcilable differences and a perceived departure from the party's founding principles as the main reasons for his exit. His latest move, many believe, could strengthen coalition party, initially endorsed by politicians including Peter Obi, Rotimi Amechi, David Mark, Nasir El-Rufai, and others as a platform to challenge President Bola Tinubu in the 2027 elections. Now, joining us for this discussion is senior political assistant to former Vice President Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, Demola Olarewaju. Good morning, congratulations. This is us also assuming that you're now with the ADC as well, is that correct?
Well, yes, that's a fair assumption to make. Good morning, Oli. Morning, Bega. Morning, Joe.
Morning.
Good morning. So I don't think that it comes as a surprise that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar has finally officially joined the ADC at this moment, because many Nigerians, have been wondering what's going on. So tell us, what the expectations for this move symbolize. And I know that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is still running for office. Is he 100% confident about getting the ADC's ticket?
Well, there's never 100% in life, as it is also in politics. Atiku Abubakar's aspiration has been a long-standing one and very clear to all Nigerians. We believe that he will throw his heart into the race, and this is one of those moves. I think, this is perhaps the worst-kept political secret in Nigeria. This was the worst-kept political secret in Nigeria. It was his close identification with the ADC was never hidden. Ever since he left the PDP in July, people have speculated on the next move, but he knew, because he had come out to identify that, look, we need an opposition coalition. And, we're happy with the development. And I think, people are very excited. It shows a clear realignment within the polity, because, it's not just about the aspiration now. It's about having an opposition platform that can really challenge the incumbent president and the APC at the polls in the next election. So I think, that's the basis for it. And this is the thinking for everybody who's a political analyst to live.
Now, Demola, your principal, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, turns 79 years old today. Happy birthday to Alhaji Atiku Abubakar.
Thank you very much.
Critics will say, look, by 2027, he will be 82 years old. He's also had the opportunity to be vice president of Nigeria. Why is he so desperate to seek power? Someone that has been active in politics since 1993. That we have young and agile Nigerians who can take on this duty. What do you have to say to critics like that, who also say he's not respecting not constitutional, but the gentlemanly agreement that power should rotate between the South and the North every 8 years? How do you respond?
Well, so starting with the age question, I think that, as long as he's healthy, as long as he's fit, as long as he's qualified, his aspiration is, has no barrier If any young person defeats him in a free and fair open primaries, Atiku Abubakar will support the person. And, I will say to the critics that if you look at the history of Atiku Abubakar's political career, his political career has never been associated with the word desperate. This is the only politician in recent times in Nigeria who has defected 3 times from the ruling party into the opposition party as a sitting vice president, where he could have, been a part of the whole Obasanjo arrangement at that time. He defected to an opposition party. He was in the ruling party ahead of 2015. He defected to join the opposition APC. He was, in the ruling party also 3 different times. He had defected from the ruling party. He was in APC with Muhammadu Buhari ahead of 2019. He defected to lead the opposition. And I'm personally challenged and inspired that at his age, at the age of 79, he's still at the forefront of the opposition edge in Nigeria. This is something that, not a lot of young people can do. The age factor is a challenge and an inspiration in tenacity, in persistence. As to the ethnic arrangement, I think that it is clear to Nigerians now that it is not about the ethnicity, it's not about the religion. What we need is a president who is capable. So I think those who continue to bring up the ethnic question really are not being sincere with themselves, because the truth is, in this Tinubu economy, if an Igbo man gives me 1 million naira or a Fulani man gives me 1 million naira, I will say because I'm a Yoruba man, I'm not going to accept it. Okay, so why would I reject good governance if it is coming from a Fulani and it's bettering my life? Why would I reject good governance if it's coming from an Igbo person if it's going to make my life better? So I think people are not really being sincere with themselves. They just like to play politics with it. I think Nigerians have moved beyond this issue of whether north or south or east or west or anywhere. Nigerians just want good governance. And if Atiku Abubakar can offer that, I think Nigerians will embrace him. Okay,
just to mention, again, I want to go back to the question that Gbenga Bro had asked you. 81 years, his faith is healthy, yes. But then we're also the same generation that constantly advocates for younger people to be involved in politics. Our former anthem did say the labors, the labors of our heroes past shall never be in vain. And then when we're younger, we always thought about how, children are the leaders of tomorrow, but the leaders of yesterday have refused to relinquish power to the leaders of tomorrow.
Well, I think, again, it's several things, okay? It's the fact that the ADC has officially put in its manifesto that 60% of its position will be reserved for women and young people. So if there's any political party in Nigeria today that is at the forefront of, youth in politics or youth, the handover, the whole process, I think it's the ADC. But more importantly, if we are looking at confronting Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2027, I think there are only very few people that can withstand Bola Tinubu politically, and Atiku Abubakar is one of them. So we don't want to gamble. I would also like to contest for president. I would also like to say, but the truth is, the clout, the name, the recognition, the structure, only few people have it in this country. So it's not just, you don't start that kind of gamble at the presidential level, okay? Young people, House of Reps, young people, Senate, this is well encouraged. And it doesn't necessarily have to be someone who's young. So he's 79 today by election. It'll be 81. The best thing about that age factor for me is that I know politicians who have been 60 for the past 15 years. They've been 60 years old, Football age is what many politicians are using today. Atiku Abubakar declares his age, and everyone can see that, he is even fitter.
When you say that football age, what do you mean by football age is what politicians are using today? And who are the politicians that are using football age?
I know a politician who has been 60 years since 2015. He has been 60
Maybe he was born in a leap year.
Who's that?
Well, that's a point to make. Maybe that is the case.
Okay,
but I'm happy that Atiku Abubakar is proud of his age, and it's an inspiration for me again, a very huge inspiration that at his age he is still insisting on leading the opposition coalition, rallying the opposition. I mean, that's commendable.
All right. We'll go on a quick break. When we come back, there's a major question to ask. I mean, there are major questions. One of it would be that now that he's ported, let's use the word port for want of understanding for our local parlants, he's moved to the ADC. there are members in the ADC already who are saying that they're all going to contest for the presidency or the president's seat. We'll find out when we come back. We'll talk about that some more. Stay with us. Yeah. Welcome back. So, right before the break, we were looking at the move of former Vice-President Atiku Abubakar, Atiku Abubakar, to the ADC, and what this definitely means for the party, what it means for him, and most importantly, what it also means for the Nigerian political landscape. We're looking at this very clearly as we speak with a special political assistant to the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. Demola Olarewaju is still here with us. All right, Demola, my question would be that the ADC seems to be populated already. You do have a lot of political juggernauts who are looking to win the primaries and are looking to go for the president's seat. How certain is Atiku Abubakar that he will also be part of those who will be vying for that seat? Or is he going to play a different role? Maybe he's just going to play a supportive role, just stay behind and support whoever comes forth and ensures that the person gets his full support and then wins the race? Or is he going to just take off his clothes, wear his boots, lace up, and then join the race?
I think that, the permutation is very simple. The idea behind this opposition coalition is based on the results of the last election. His Excellency Atiku Abubakar and His Excellency Peter Obi combined, they had more votes than Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who's now the president. Bola Ahmed Tinubu had 36.6% of the votes. That's a clear minority. So he won a plurality, but he did not win the majority, which is above 50%. If it had been in a parliamentary system, there would have been a rerun, because that falls below half of the country. So if, as at that time, more than half of the country did not want him to be president, I think with his performance, it has also decreased. And so the thinking now is that if you have Alhaji Atiku Abubakar and you have His Excellency Peter Obi also in the same political party, pulling in the same direction for the same purpose, that things will turn out differently for Nigerians. So I believe very strongly that Atiku Abubakar is very crucial to the success of the opposition. Again, he came second, he came closest to, and remember, this was an election where the air was rife with, ethnic, agenda, religious agenda. People didn't want another Fulani, and still he managed to come second, winning 12 states. So I think that, it's very crucial that he is a part of that race. Whether he gets the ticket or not, I think that's dependent on the political party, but I think that that will be the strongest ticket for the ADC and for the opposition for the good of all Nigerians, Joe.
Now, Demola, the last time a political party managed to defeat an incumbent in Nigeria, there was some sort of coalition or alliance. No, it was actually a merger, to be specific, the CPC and the ACN back then. Looking at the fact that you're going against an astute politician and a government that has been in power for quite some time now, is the ADC open to mergers, coalitions, or alliances as we inch towards the 2027 presidential race?
Oh, yes. So we think that presently the political parties in Nigeria are not as strong as they should be institutionally. And that's because, the APC has been using, below the belt tactics, to destabilize those political parties. We saw what happened in the PDP. We saw what happened in the Labour Party. We see these things continue to happen, okay? And so ADC has been carved out now as the platform made clear. The mergers that will happen, or the coalitions that will happen, will be working with political parties in different ways. So in a party like PDP, for example, those who want to play opposition, those who want to be the opposition, will support the ADC in elections. Those who want to support Bola Tinubu, like, those who are there, some of them who want to support Bola Tinubu, can, do so. So what we would have is that we'll be open to those kind of coalitions, we'll be open to those kind of mergers, we'll be open to those kind of supports, those kind of collaborations. politically. I think, it's going to be both horizontal and vertical. It's going to be always, because the last election, you had people within the PDP who were working against the PDP. Okay, so this time around, you're going to have people who might be members of XYZ party but supporting the ADC, even from the APC itself, because I'm sure that, if Atiku Abubakar becomes president or if the ADC wins power, even members of APC would also benefit. So I think that, we would have those mergers, we'll have those coalitions. And I'm particularly pleased with the statement that came from the new PDP chairman, despite the whole tussle, Kabiru Tani Muturaki. He said that the PDP, with him as the chairman, is open to an opposition coalition. I think that's a very good step. In fact, our camp commended that, we commended that bold statement coming from him, and it's very, very well encouraged. You
speak about the possibility of, maybe not an outright possibility, but the kind of influence that an Atiku and a Peter Obi merger coming together would yield, and you speak about them have been able to pull more votes together that the President Bola mentioned. Is there any possibility or official confirmation of this coming to light? And we haven't seen an official statement from His Excellency Peter Obi, but is that a possibility we should foresee in the nearest future?
Well, it's a desire. I would say it's a desire. It's something that I would like to see happen. It's also a possibility. In politics, nothing can be ruled out. I think that, if such a thing would happen, it would have to come on a platform of respect. His Excellency Peter Obi commands a certain number of votes in Nigeria. That's 6.1 million votes wherever he is. That's 6.1 million votes. He commands the respect of so many young people also. So if there is an alliance, or if there's a joint ticket idea coming, I think it would have to be a sort of two presidents in one kind of deal where, he's not just the vice president, but he's also someone who's influential in the government. So I think there are various ways that this can be explored. Nothing is official, but I'm saying that, those of us who are patriots and also the people who started this whole idea of the ADC, because these coalition discussions were going on well over a year before the coalition presented itself publicly. Okay, well over a year, things had been sorted out, discussions have gone. So I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of the day, we have it go in that direction. Because like I said, the math is very simple. 6.1 million votes Peter Obi, 6.9 million votes Atiku Abubakar. It was far more than the votes that Bola Ahmed Tinubu got. So if the opposition had voted in one direction, Bola Tinubu would not be president today. So I think it's to avoid that situation of division of opposition votes for the good of Nigerians. That's why this happens. And so if the two of them come together, I will be pleased. I will definitely be voting for that ticket.
Okay.
You said it's a wish, and wishes and dreams do come true. After all, just 1 hour ago, His Excellency Mr. Peter Obi wished Atiku Abubakar a happy birthday. And he said, "My very dear elder brother, boss, and elder statesman." So, if Atiku Abubakar wants to make a birthday wish, you can just use today to ask him.
You're very dry.
I think those conversations will happen between them, and I think you need to be for the good of all Nigerians. But like I said, it has to be clear that it's going to be a two presidents in one package for the benefit of all Nigerians.
Okay, all right. It's been a very interesting conversation, one that we know will unfold and also bring out more interesting facts in the course of the months to come, especially as we build up to 2026, because for other
27.
political parties, I'm saying 2026.
Okay.
I'm personally saying 2026, not 27, because like I'm about to mention,
Right,
for other political
mode.
parties, there is 2026 where they have to plan. But like many have said, for the current incumbent, it seems like there's no 2026. It's just straight to 2027. But then again, your final thoughts, Demola, as we wrap up, because we have our next guest who's in the waiting room. What's your thought about the method and the ways in which Nigeria's current insecurity situation has affected, especially His Excellency Alhaji Atiku Abubakar? We've seen him speak out. He's very vocal, talking about the insecurity level. What do you think his thoughts truly are?
So Atiku Abubakar is very concerned, deeply concerned. This is something that, we discussed. This is something that he told me about, that look, if he was president, there are certain actions he would have taken. There are certain ways that the military should push against the bandits. So it's very, very disturbing. I think that, the incumbent president needs to be more caring about Nigerians. This is the president. We had the service chiefs. There was insecurity all over the country. The president refused to sack the service chiefs. But the moment there was the rumor of a coup, he sacked those service chiefs and replaced them. So I think, he needs to be more proactive. He needs to be more caring about Nigeria, about, these people. And then he needs to decide. He needs to decide that banditry, insecurity, terrorism has no place in Nigeria. So I think, a different president would make a huge difference for insecurity in Nigeria.
Well, we can't say for certain that it was as a result of rumors of a coup, particularly because the response is that they served their time. They're supposed to serve for 2 years, and after 2 years, their time is up. So we can't categorically traffic in word from the grapevine.
We had those rumors, and those rumors persisted, and people continue talking about people arrested, people invited for questioning, and so on and so forth. And then the service chiefs were removed. But people have been calling for a change of security architecture ever since this president came in. He refused to do that. Again, it also seems to be a pattern. This is a president who pushed all the way to the Supreme Court for the devolution of powers to the LG. Everybody's LGA level. Everyone started celebrating. LGAs are now, going to be stronger Supreme Court judgments. The next thing he was using that same power, that same judgment to negotiate with governors to leverage them into APC. What you hear is, the governors now have more money, join APC. The governors now have more allocation. Now the LGAs are totally captured. So I think, he needs to think less about himself, less about his ambition, less about his aspiration, and focus more on service delivery for Nigeria. That's the best politics that he can play, not poaching governors from PDP from anywhere.
Thank you so much for your time and insights, Demola Olarewaju.